everyone. I'm Alda Marina. I'm calling from São Paulo, directly from the headquarters of BSF here in South America. And I'm here with Heiko Spitzeck. We decided to create this content for GIW, as we have experienced here a whole journey of 6 years of studying by the experience of the Center for Entrepreneurship about culture and structure of entrepreneurial experiences, right, Heiko?
Right.
Let me give some kind of background of where we are. In 2018, we co-founded the Center for Entrepreneurship. In Fundação Cabral is one of the top business schools in the world elected by Financial Times. And here we had done this experience with the League of Entrepreneurs and other 7 large corporations. One of them was BSF, and we did the acceleration of some entrepreneurial projects. In the same year, we also started studying about entrepreneurial culture. And since then, we have had the experience to also go deeper on this research. So this is a section to also share with the community what we have learned here, right, Heiko? And what are still some questions that we can also research together.
I think it's important to understand that the cultural question appeared, especially in the context of the work we've done with BSF here in South America, because we have seen a lot of projects, a lot of entrepreneurs. But Alda, what was our question behind, why did we need to go to the organizational context?
We have learned that, especially in the community here in Brazil, and we see this in the global community too, whenever a leader gets to know the system, gets to know how to deal with entrepreneurship, and they feel that there is the environment that it's not enough for what they want to put in the world, what happens? They change.
Exactly.
So what company wants to lose a talent such as a seasoned entrepreneur that has already put in the world big projects with impact and so on? So we have brought this question: what can we do to help also organizations to learn, to do an environment that can learn how to really be more suitable or more
conducive
to entrepreneurs, right, Heiko?
Exactly. And this is where I'm Heiko, I'm director of the Sustainability Research Center at Fundação Cabral and one of the co-founders of the Center of Entrepreneurship. And this is where we have sat together with our colleagues at BSF to reflect upon a model I'm going to present right now, which is the classical funnel, you might say, for entrepreneurs. So it starts with the employees, with their competencies in innovation, motivation, and you can measure that. You can measure organizational climate, you can measure retention, etc., etc. Then we challenge them to develop shared value projects that create a business impact. At the same time, they contribute to the sustainable development goals and to the ESG agenda of the company. By doing so, we got projects, and we got quite a lot. So in the last couple of years, we have accelerated more than 60 projects here at BSF, out of which more than 40% have been implemented. And we can study these projects regarding their impact in business, regarding their social environmental impacts. Now, if these projects are well succeeded and accepted, they create new business models that help to enchant your client and help your clients as well dealing better with their ESG challenges. And again, you can all measure that by sales, net promoter score, client retention, etc., etc. And in the end, this helps you to be recognized as a reference in the market because you have a more sustainable portfolio, you have better revenues, cost reductions, you're better doing on the environmental front, on recycling, emissions, and income generation, access to markets, etc., etc. Potentially, many of you guys have seen this funnel. happening in a couple of companies to say like, okay, we have our accelerator programs. We challenge our entrepreneurs and employees to become entrepreneurs, and to think potentially about the sustainability and ESG challenges we are facing. But after a couple of years seeing and accelerating projects, it's exactly what we've seen here at BSF. And the metaphor I always use is the gardener. Like if you have good seeds, but you throw them on a poor soil, they're not gonna blossom.
And just to add one point, what was very common, even the companies that were coming to us in the Center for Entrepreneurship to bring their talents to accelerate projects, whenever we asked some specific questions, they were like, we're not still looking at it. Yeah. So there is an intention, but also there was not a mature way to look at it.
There's no structure, and that's what we see in a lot of companies. So all this is sustained by two things, which is organizational structures. Like you said, Alda, you have a clear process. They invest in innovation ESG. They train their people in innovation ESG. They have clear targets. They link it to executive compensation, et cetera, And of course, on the cultural side, the vision and values, top management approach, et cetera, are all important in that context. Now, Alda, you know that I'm working for a business magazine here in Brazil, and there's a good project as a source of data, which is?
It's called?
The 360
degree in ESG, right, Heiko?
No, it's a general ranking.
Is it in general?
So we evaluate here with the business magazine in Brazil. That year it was 420 big companies in Brazil. And we send them questionnaires to finance, governance, innovation, sustainability, and people management. And they report back on us. And that's where we did a study to understand, so what? If a company has better structures for impact and entrepreneurs, do they really have a difference?
So you guys can see that it was an ongoing process of questioning that we went through. So beginning with practical questions in the field that brought us more questions. Then Heiko could also bring all this data that he was already involved for a decade, right, Heiko?
Exactly.
So how can we? Our question was how can we bring all together to get to extract more knowledge out of it? And it's important to mention, Heiko, about also the partnership between Fundação Dom Cabral and King's College, right?
Yeah, this was basically research I was doing during my research exchange program. I went 1 year to King's College in London to analyze this data together with colleagues there, like Elisa Alt, who's a professor working at King's College. And we looked at this data in order to see, okay, how does this generate value, if any, for the corporation? Mm-hmm. And the first thing we found was in the area of HR. Exactly. So first of all, what did we do? 420 companies participating in this ranking. So we first, and these are some points we looked at, we first did a cluster analysis, and we saw in the data there are naturally two clusters emerging. The companies we consider as low sustainability and innovation, which were 235 companies in our example, and those high sustainability and innovation. And you can see here the difference between the two groups. So you see that coaching and mentoring for innovation is basically only done in the high part of corporations. They also have a higher propensity for having internal and venture funds and innovation funds, and they have structured processes to capture ideas. On the ESG front, we can see that there are more propensities to have a board committee on ESG, so they're discussing these issues on a senior management level. They're a member of the Global Compact, and they use a structured process to identify their ESG priorities, which is the materiality process. These are the highlights of the difference of the groups. And what's interesting here to see is already like if you want to do more and harvest the fruits of your entrepreneurs, it already directs you what you can do. Like if you do coaching and mentoring, that's already making a big difference. If you have funds available for this, also making a big difference. But then let's look at, okay, does this all pay off? And we can see that if a company trains employees in innovation and ESG and sustainability, and here again, the differences between the two groups, then, and this is all statistically significant differences, we can see then the high companies have a better organizational climate. So this is a strong argument for people, for the people department, HR department, that better investment, better training, ESG and innovation leads to a better climate.
And this adds value to what we have since the beginning been looking at the different cases here, and also aligned to what in the global community I have already listened to, that is that people look for entrepreneurial programs when they are searching for challenges in human resources, challenges in innovation, and challenges in impact.
Yeah.
And this adds value to, okay, it is really important for HR to look at what we're talking here. And
like I had a discussion with the CEO of one of our partner companies, Global Lubrications, Enrique Garcia. And he said, for me, entrepreneurship is really essential because you identify a new leadership team. Because if these entrepreneurs are successful in advancing their projects, they show resilience, they show an openness, they understand the whole business, how different areas interact internally. They understand like how the company is embedded in the value chain and creates value or not for their clients. And that's actually the next point here. Clients. Here at BASF, there's like, we have a running joke here. It's like, or it's coming from German headquarters, or it's coming from the client. And we can see at the client, companies who invest more in innovation and ESG have a better client retention rate. And that's also statistically significant. So bringing the client on board obviously opens all the doors, because if the client wants you to be more sustainable, who's your boss to say like, we're not attending the client?
Yes, if it adds value to the clients, who can question a project, right?
Exactly. And next to HR and next to sustainability, next to the client, what's another department who might be profiting from entrepreneurs?
Innovation?
Exactly, innovation. So in the innovation department, and this is also something we found, the number of suggested projects is way, way higher at companies who invest more in innovation and ESG.
Yeah.
The number of implemented projects is also way higher, of course. They show more revenues from new products and services which have been added to the portfolio in the last 5 years. And they have substantially more revenues as well from certified sustainable products and services. So there's no doubt, if you work in the innovation department or you want to convince your innovation department and they want to know if entrepreneurship is a good idea, it definitely is according to our data.
It's such a difference, no? 4 to 28.
Yeah. So, and in general, and this is where we all this putting this together. So we can see that entrepreneurship does add value to a company who wants to differentiate on the market as a sustainability leader or as somebody more prepared for the challenges of the 21st century. Next to all we said so far, we can also see that many of the sustainability projects and innovations brought forward by entrepreneurs are reducing costs because they're driving efficiency, resource efficiency, and energy is the most obvious in that sense. You have a recognition that this company is improving its reputation and as well more likely to be involved in ESG funds with cheaper cost of capital. And I'm very happy to see that we have another 2 dimensions which are also statistically different between the two groups, we can see that the leading companies are recycling more of their waste. They're generating more income for the bottom of the pyramid. And they're also offering products and services more products and services target to the bottom of the pyramid, which, talking of Brazil, is a very relevant part of the market.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, these are our findings.
And it's important. We wanted to share these results, but knowing it's the beginning of many other questions that are opened. As we see, this is an amount of 420 companies. They are operating in Brazil, but most of them are international, right? Multinational. And so these are the key learnings, and we wanted to share this with the GIW, within the GIW. So what some questions to bring to the table. What other research are being done in the world? What other learnings that other entrepreneurs are building, are exploring regarding entrepreneurial culture? These are questions that we have, and we really would like to open this conversation with the community, right, Heiko?
Yeah, and I think like there are two actual like already avenues you might want to follow. First is, this can be used as a benchmarking exercise for your company. So we have all the questions. We can insert your company and say like, where are you better or below the benchmark of these high investment companies, and invest more in innovation and ESG. So it can give you a heat map to understand like where can you work on the structures in the organization in order to create a better life for the entrepreneurs. So there's an invitation, if you want to use that tool for this, please get in touch. And the other thing is like one of the research which is following from this is also, and it's a common challenge, again with our colleagues at King's College. Juliana Travassos is doing a research with us to understand like what is the impact of all these projects we have accelerated over the last 5 years. What is the impact on business? What is the impact on the social and environmental indicators these projects wanted to generate? And also to see like, why did some of the projects not get implemented? What are the barriers the organization is providing? Why are the entrepreneurs not advancing on their projects? Is it technical reasons? Is it leadership reasons? Is it lack of funding? Is it lack of time? What is it? And how can we help organizations to become better environments for impact entrepreneurs just like you?
Good, Heiko. And just to also add to what we can offer is also, we have done during the 6 years, acceleration of projects within more than 60 or 70 large corporations here in partnership with the Global Compact. So we have also the opportunity to go deeper on researches, on also bring to conversation using the SDGs. So we are open to build together with the whole community. Right, Heiko?
Right.
What else? That's it?
That's it.
So
thanks, Alda.
Thank you, Heiko, and everyone. Let's keep in touch on this topic, okay? Thank you.